Can you get back?
Yes, ma'am.
You ready?
No. Hold the bottom. You got the bottom.
All right. Don't break much.
It's ready to go on that one into the garage. Now, if you find something, I can put it on a holding table for us. Okay, well, let me just put sold on it, you can leave it. Do you want the plate too, or just the stick? Okay, what's your name? Kathy. Anybody got something to go on the holding table?
I think I do. Can I ask you a question though? We walked right past it 3 times looking for it. Okay? On the picture, there was some pipes.
You just want coffee.
Can you see stuff popping
Is
up?
it somewhere? He's having a lot of fun with
That
that.
was flowing, huh? Me,
what I was kind of looking for.
$2 each.
When somebody's grabbing. Somebody already got it. They didn't want the whole.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and you're so heavy. So heavy, Bubba.
Why are you so heavy? You eating too much.
Oh, that's a cute rock.
This kind of makes me sad.
Right, well.
This will be my house when they're my kids.
Welcome back to South Georgia Home. My name is Gail. Went to 2 estate sales today. I will apologize for the shop along with me part. We didn't film at the first estate sale, it was just at the second one. Jason filmed the couple and I filmed the rest. But there was one part where it was kind of crazy because I had it on when I walked in the house and when I walked through the house, but when I started back, there was a lot of people and just jumbling my phone around. It was kind of crazy. If I don't cut that part out, I'll just go ahead and apologize for it. So went to the first one and I picked up a couple of things. I spent, I think, $15 and some change. This was the only thing that I really enjoy out of what I got. One thing Jason picked up. So the 3 items, one of them was his. But this, I really like. It's just a wall sconce with the, for candles. It was $10. And these were loose. I just brought them home. I had a flathead screwdriver and just tightened them up. So I think I know where I'm gonna put it. I'm not sure. Did come with candles, which I didn't need, but we'll stash them away for emergency. Hurricane season is upon us. Jason picked this up. He just wanted to kind of research it. He doesn't know what it goes to. I cannot pronounce any of the stuff on the back. It just says June of '77. That's the only thing I can. That's the only thing I can interpret. If I got it upside down, I think I do. If you can see it. But it's just a little spoon, a little bitty spoon. And Jason said, I want to research it and see where it comes from, what it's for. I don't know. So he picked that up, and I think she charged him $2 for that one. Then this, and this was my fault. They had these at the cash register, and I saw the pearls, so I just picked it up. I didn't open the bag at all. The pearl necklace that is in it is okay. On one end, it has that clasp. On the other end, where you would have the hook, it's not there. See if I can show you there. So, but it was only $2, so I'm not really kicking myself too hard over that one. And then this was a little charm. I don't know what it came off of. I don't know that it would come off of that particular necklace. It might have come off something else, but it has these little danglies. And then this, I'm gonna see if my great niece, Ellie, who is a really girly girl, wants it. It's a little bitty bracelet. There's no way it's gonna fit an adult's wrist. So we'll see if she wants that. So $2 for that bag. So 15 and some change at that sale. Now, the second sale. So this particular house, the guy came out and he said the lady that lived here was 90-something years old. She was still alive. She was 90-something years old, and she was moving from, if you've ever known anybody who's from Alabama, that part of Alabama, they always say I'm from LA, Lower Alabama. I worked with a lady that was her hometown, and she's like, oh, I'm from LA, Lower Alabama. So she's moving from Lower Alabama to Spokane, Washington. There's a big difference. So she's moving up there to be close to her daughter, and he said that all she took was her clothes. So this was 90 years of collections and keepsakes that she left behind. And every room in that house had something old. Just about everything in that house was old. There was some newer stuff in the kitchen, but just about everything in the house was old. Jason enjoyed it. He was gushing about it being a great sale. They don't come along very often, but this one was there. This was the first day prices. So I will say I paid $15 at the first one, for 15 and some change. The second sale, hold on to your seat, $157. I believe that's the most I've ever paid at an estate sale before. And 55, just off the top of my head, 55 of it came from Jason. So we will get started. I'll show you what he picked out. I'll take a picture of it. He did buy a stereo. He bought a boombox a little while back. One of the speakers wasn't working, so he bought this stereo for $30. It's got the 2 tape deck, the CD changer, the radio. It came with a remote, the 2 speakers that are separate from it. I'm not trying to manhandle that thing, so I'll take a picture of it and show you that. This was something he got out of the shed. It's a Warner brand. There's the top of it, and then there's the bottom. So it's either a little is that a 2-foot or 3-foot ladder. Looks to be in good condition, good shape. It was 15. He got this, and I didn't know what this was. It's $2. And he said, do you know what it is? And I'm like, no. It is a fishing pole. Now, you have to believe that I was shocked because my husband doesn't do fishing. He used to go fishing. I don't know that he's been fishing. Well, maybe we've been together 17 years, and I probably can count the number of times he's been fishing on one hand since we've been married. So, kind of a shocker that he bought a fishing pole. Of course, it's an old fishing pole. This was the other thing that he picked out. He does thermoses. He does I kind of forced a collection of older thermoses on him, but he does do the Stanley thermoses, the green ones. This one was $8. Usually he would probably pass these by if it was a thrift store, but because it has its own little bag, he picked it up. So he has always kept one. When he works for the state now like I do, but he worked for a private company before, and he always kept one full of ice water in the truck with him at all the time. So now we'll start on my stuff. Now, you saw me pick these up. I didn't really notice that one was different from the other one. I don't know why, but they were taped together. They were $4, and they are W.M. Rogers, I believe. But I don't know. I can't read it that well. The silver spoons, you can see the slotted. They didn't have any tomato servers or anything like that. So there was one thing in the pictures that really caught my attention. I showed my husband when we were standing in line. I showed him the night before, but he claimed he couldn't remember. But I showed him his standing in line. I said, if you get to it first, grab it, because I think it'll go fast. Now, we were 20th and 21st. There was a few people in front of us. I went in the house. I went to the left. He went to the right, and he followed the directive. Because he asked me, which way are you going? I said, I went to the left. Well, he went to the right. So I went through the house to the kitchen. There was I'm guessing a mother-in-law suite off the garage, by the garage, laundry room. It was a bedroom and a bathroom. Went in there and I picked up one of the picture frames that you saw me grab up. But this wasn't there. So I was like, oh crap, it's a bedroom on the other side of the house. I was pretty sure it was in a bedroom. So by the time I made my way back to the other side and found, because there was 3 more bedrooms, I want to say 3, if not 4. I can't remember. Anyway, one of those bedrooms, I got there and I thought this is where it should be. It wasn't there. So I said, well, crap, someone's got it. Went through the house, picked up a couple other things. Finally found my husband and he had it in his arms. I was glad to see it. So proud of him for grabbing it up. And the price, I was surprised. I really thought it would have been like 20 or 30 bucks. Only 12. Sorry for the glare. $12. It's one of those little trinket boxes. The lid is attached and in good shape. It's got all 4 of its little feet. It's really pretty. You could keep your handkerchiefs in it, or I don't know if you keep gloves in it. Makeup, jewelry, just a cute little trinket box. I just like the look of it. So I have no idea where I'm gonna put it right now. We'll find a spot. But you did see me picking up all those little picture frames. That was another thing I wanted. I saw in there. And they were scattered. I mean, there was like one in one room, one in another one. This one, and you see it's an older lady, and you can see the detail on the little hook. Does have a kickstand and little feet. And then the guy has the same frame. This frame though, it doesn't feel like it's the same material, and then the hook is not as, it doesn't have any details. To me, it just isn't as nice as those 2 frames. Even though it looks a lot like them, I just don't think they're the same age range. This one, I wish I hadn't have picked it up, but I've got it now. It was $2, so I'm gonna grab it up. It won't stay on. Now I could glue it, but then I wouldn't be able to change the picture out. And it's a little black and white picture. $2 for that one, but we'll figure something out. Another picture frame, and I think you saw me pick this one up. This was another thing that I saw in their pictures on estatesales.net, and I liked it. It was $10. I just love that look around it. Now this, you can see, you can bend it back, but I don't know, I mean, it's really stiff and I don't want to break it. And if I put glue on it, it's not going to hold it unless you just stand there and hold it like this for minutes on end. And I really don't want to break it. So it's got a black and white picture in it. I don't know if she's a nurse. I don't know. Pretty lady, but we probably will take her out. Now, they did have ephemera and pictures, black and white pictures, and you saw me look through some of them. They were $2 a piece, and if I'd have picked out every picture I wanted, I would have really been broke by the end of the day. So I only picked up one, and it wasn't a military picture. They did have a few of those. This one intrigued me. I think I want to show it to my father. Not that he's connected to this person in any way. I don't know if you can see it with the glare, but it's a guy sitting on, I'm believing it is a hay cutter or a grass cutter, because you can see the sickle bar right there, pulled by horses. I don't think those are mules. Could be wrong, but I don't think they are. I think they're horses. But you can see a guy there. Now, my father is 90 years old, and he can tell stories all day long about plowing with mules and picking cotton by hand. My mother was 8 years younger. My dad was born in 35. She was born in 43, and they could both tell stories of picking cotton by hand when they were kids. So, cotton pickers are a relatively new thing. Not that I'm saying it was new, like yesterday invented, but they weren't around in 1943 for sharecroppers anyway. They had to use manpower. So the rest of the ephemera, and this was another thing I saw that I really wanted to look at, and Jason did grab it up. So again, he followed directives really well. He knew the assignment, and he really stepped up his game. But it does say honorable discharge. And it's a little leather pouch, but even it's kind of falling apart. And inside is his discharge paperwork. He was discharged from the Navy on the 27th day of June, 1945. And you can see all his information on the back, his fingerprints and all. I don't know this person, but I do think this is something that should be preserved and looked out for. Now, what is sad is she left all her things there. But this is their certificate of marriage. I'm not going to unfold it all, but their certificate of marriage, and as well a copy of his death certificate. So, you know, start of the war, start of your marriage, and the end of a life. It's sad. But it's something that we will hold on to. My husband was saying, you know, whenever we're gone and they do an estate sale at our house, they're going to wonder how in the heck are we related to these people. And we're not. Another thing that he picked up was the Department of Commerce. I have no idea why. It's nothing interesting. And then this, War and Navy Department, the V-mail. I have one that I bought at a yard sale or something. If you're familiar with V-mail, during the war, to cut down on space that letters took up, you would write a letter, take it down, and they would shrink it on and put it on microfilm. Then they would ship the microfilm, and when it got to where it was going, they would blow it up. And then these were the little letters that people got. And you can see how big they were. So I hope he had better eyesight than me when he was trying to read that. But it is 1944. I think the date stamp was on the outside, right in here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but 1944. War and Navy Departments. The other ephemera that I bought, and I don't think I've ever seen, this was $8 for the bag of them. I don't think I've ever seen these at estate sales. I don't even know that I've seen these kind at antique stores. But it is full of cards of, a lot of them are Valentine's, but then you have big events like your first birthday, baby's first birthday. And then they have some congratulations about your baby, lots of fun on your birthday. A Valentine for my nephew. This gave me the George Jetson feels. Happy first birthday. This one, I didn't know they made this elaborate card back in the day. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. It says Valentine for my husband. And then you pull this down and it's, what is that, 3D, 2D, 3D, something like that. Anyway, you can see just the flowers on it. It's just cool. Valentines, these little Valentine's cards that were written by kids. If you were in school, I remember when we were in school, in the elementary school, little kids, we would decorate like a paper bag, and everybody would go hang their bag on the rail that went around the chalkboard, because we used to have the old chalkboards, not the dry erase boards. And we would hang our bags there, and people, when you brought your Valentines, you would have, you know, you'd go to town, buy your little box of Valentines, and you have these little cards and little envelopes, and you would put your little card in it and put someone's name on the envelope. And then that day at school, you would go drop whichever ones you wanted to have Valentines. And of course, for kids, you know, every day, at the end of the day, people were going to count and see who got more. And then we graduated to the cards that had the little suckers that you could thread through in the holes. Those were the good ones. So, yeah, look at that one from Bonnie. Just brings back memories. So it's a boy, congratulations. It has a little set of booties. And these were Hallmark. These were Hallmark cards. Some of them, not all of them. This one's not a Hallmark. This one, our first anniversary, on your first anniversary. And this is the only Christmas one. I don't know if it would have accompanied a gift or what. And then this one, I really like this one. Congratulations, Mother and Dad, on a brand new baby. Look on the inside of that. Just cool Valentine's. No. The cat. $8, and I think it was $8 well spent. Just going through those is just something. So, let's see, we covered that, and that. This was in the bedroom. I passed it over the first time, then when I made my second round. If you saw in the shop along where all those gloves were and the handkerchiefs, that was really hit. I went in there, I started to get a handkerchief or two, and I said no. When I went back the second or third time, right before I left, someone had hit them hard because they were gone. I think there was only one set of gloves left, the one that was in that box for $2 that I looked at, that was still there. It was the only set that was still there. So this was on the bed with a couple of other bags. But I like this little beaded purse. You can see on the back, it's just missing a few beads right up here. But what I really like, and you can see in here, that is the manufacturer's name. manufacturer's stamp. I can't really read it. But it does have its own little change purse. So I thought it was cute. $10. This I got out of the Kitchen Holland's cookbook. You saw me pick it up. And again, it is full of old recipes. And I can't read some of them. I mean, I really can't read some of them. This is an envelope, written on an envelope, and she's got more on the back. This one, I think it's a piece of an envelope. Look at all the scratching and the adding and all on the back. Just out of sight. Graham cracker cake. I don't know if I want to try that one or not. It's got raisins and cherries and pineapple. I don't know if I'm a fan of that one. Let me see. There's some in here I absolutely cannot read. Here's a little envelope. That must have been a good recipe right there. But the copyright on this one is, so I can find it. Original copyright 1923, but the 8th edition, which I'm sure is what we have, was October 1929. So I don't know if you can see that or not. But yeah, an old cookbook. I don't know what he charged me for that. It didn't have a price on it, so I don't know what he charged me for that. This was in there. One of the rooms had some old Christmas in it. I didn't know if I was going to get it or not. I took it and I showed it to my husband. I said, I don't know if I'm going to get this. Because it'll be for resale, but for what I paid for it, I don't know that I'll get any profit off of it. But he says, go ahead and try it. So I bought the, I don't know if you would call this celluloid. I don't think so. I think it's just plastic, maybe. Maybe it's celluloid, I don't know. The little snowman. He's intact as far as I can tell. I don't know if that's one of those little things, you know, where you're skiing and those little poles that you push with, or if he's got a vendetta against Santa Claus. I don't know. So he's intact though, as far as I can tell. And then this, I thought it was a basket, but I think it was more of a, maybe it was a bell. At some point, there's no hook to hold it and nothing inside of it. And then I thought maybe what's inside of it was hanging from the, hanging from it. But I don't know, that doesn't make much sense to me because, let's see if I can get the hook in there. You see, you can't see the, you can't see the mistletoe that's on the top if you put them in there like that. So I don't know what he went to. But there are 3 of those with a little mistletoe and the the snowman. And that'll be for sale, probably closer to Christmas. We'll see what we can do with them. These 2, I wanted one. I saw them in the pictures, in the estate sale pictures. And I wanted one. I like them both, but I really wanted one. Couldn't find it, so I settled for the one that I could find. And I get home and now discover it's not even real. You saw me pull it off the wall. Well, maybe you didn't see me pull it off the wall, but it was on the wall for $10. This thing is paper. It's not even a real crewel. So, kind of shocked. But I would have swore it was. But when and literally, I carried around, never even noticed that it wasn't real until I got home. So it says, what's friendship but the sweetness of an olden, tender song, a fondness that remembers a little kindness long? What's life without a friendship that time has proven true, and all cheer and comfort that I have found in you? I like the way it looks, but it ain't real. Now, I did find the one that I wanted, and it was $15, and I thought, well, maybe I should put the first one back. And you know, when you start an estate sale and you haven't spent that much money, or you think I've only spent $2 here and $2 there, and you know, it's not much, right? It's when you go to add everything up that it gets you, that you think, man, I should put that back. But I got both of them anyway. But this is my garden, and I do believe this is real. It is professionally done in the back. I do believe it's real, but it says, mine is a garden of hope that good fruits I may bring to God's great harvesting. So the good Lord above and the garden that he's blessed us with, because we have had a good garden this year. So I like that. And it does have a hook already, so we'll find a place for this as well. But I think that is all. I hope that's all. I don't think I've left anything out. $157. He let us off with $156 because we didn't have another one. We had to break out another 5, and he would have given us change, and he said, forget it. We'll just say 156, but it was actually 157. And 15 and some change at the first one. And I will get you a picture of the stereo. I hope where you are, though, it's great weather, and I hope that you have and some estate sales that you can get out to and enjoy. We really enjoyed this one. I like rummaging through old people's houses. I've always said it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Old people have the coolest stuff. So thank you for watching South Georgia Home. We hope to see you again.